Hi everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Discard Dead, where we like to open boosters and boxes of dead and long forgotten trading card games. Today we have a SkyNet theme deck from the Terminator trading card game, released by Precedence in 2000. So this is a bit of a throwback to the very first video that I made for the channel, where I opened a sealed box of a sealed booster box of the Terminator game, which is a lot of fun. So this game operates using the Battlegrounds, the same Battleground system as the Aliens Predator card game that Precedence actually released in 1997, taking stills from Aliens and Predator movies. During the game, players can play location cards to expand their environment, where characters can move to initiate combat or hide from enemies or search for equipment. We will see some of these as we crack on. So opening the box. So before I go into this, I've actually opened a couple of these decks before. I opened a SkyNet and a Resistance deck, which is the counterpart to the SkyNet theme game. It actually turned out that we had found print error decks, where all the Resistance decks in the whole box were actually SkyNet decks. And hoping that the SkyNet decks were all Resistance, it turned out we had a whole deck box full of SkyNet, which was disappointing, but what can you do? So getting in, and I actually just want to say that I do like the spacing of the deck box itself. Very neat. So we have a die. We have these little counters, which are for when a character will hide at a location. We have the rulebook. We have an additional booster pack, which I'm not going to open. This is the quick briefing for the SkyNet theme deck. It runs over some key locations, gets you set up, and it is our little playmat as well. Finally, we have our 50 card SkyNet theme deck. So the main part of this deck is the Infiltrator Terminator card. This is the iconic classic T800. You know, the Infiltrator. We have Anticipation, which is an event card. Our Dancing, Desperation, Up Close and Personal, Battlefield Repairs, Your Clothes, Twist of Fate, Misfire, Nightmares, Battle Fatigue, Discipline ×3, Better You Than Me, Target Acquired, Ineffective Weaponry, Inhuman Resilience ×2, Hide, Mistaken Identity, Phone Book, and now we go into our supporting characters. Investigative Reporter ×3, we've got Street Punk ×3, Matt McAllister, Sarah J. Connor. Now we have some items. Switchblade, LS81 Laser Sight ×2, 45mm long slide, and sunglasses, and our locations. So we've got an isolated side street, suburban street, sewer, dark alley, city park, apartment complex, main street, tech noir, police station, Alamo sports shop, skills upgrade, marksman, reconstructive nanites, and another nightmares card. So when you start out, each player has a number of cards which they can start the game in play with. I can't remember which one of the location cards. I think it might be the Alamo Sports Shop, or it might be the main street. So a location card is placed in the front of your opening area, and during the game you can actually play extra locations to expand your environment. Your character cards can move between different locations, and depending on how far away your character is from your opponent's locations, it might be a ranged or it might be a melee, close quarters combat. The interesting thing about this game is that one of the things that I find is interesting is that if you and your opponent both have the same locations, then that will actually count as the same card. So if your opponent has an Alamo sports shop and you also have one, then this is treated as if you are in the same space, and any further location cards can be accessed by your opponent by moving through them. In addition to having starting locations, each player has starting characters. The Resistance deck has a Sarah Connor, I believe it is, and the SkyNet deck has an Infiltrator. And the Infiltrator can actually start with a number of items already equipped. So I think this one starts with the upgrade, like the Marksman and the Reconstructive Nanites, which serves to empower your Terminator. That was pretty much the contents of the starter deck. I'll be making a how to play video very soon, so please keep a lookout for that. Thank you, and good night.